We haven't talked yet about Sam Darnold, and I get it. He did not have to do a ton in order to become a Super Bowl champion for these 60 minutes. But there were people that were saying, well, okay, at some point he's going to blow it, right? And we heard John Schneider up here say, basically, we had no qualms about bringing this guy in, trying to upgrade. You trade away Geno Smith, who would become a Pro Bowl quarterback with you up in Seattle. There were people that were looking at John Schneider like, what are you doing here?
Chris, Sam Darnold led the whole National Football League with turnovers. This season.
Yep.
Got to the playoffs, didn't turn the ball over once. Got to the biggest game of his career, didn't turn the ball over once.
Not once.
That's all that matters right now. When you can run the football, you got a suffocating defense. Now the task is just don't mess it up. And he did. Well, I'll say this.
I'm just going to stop right there and say this is why if you can get to the play, if you can manage games and you have a good defense, you don't need to have like a knockout quarterback. Sam Darnold was a great game manager, and that's all you need. And the beautiful thing is because they didn't spend a fortune on him, and they had some there. Jackson Smith and Jake was still on a rookie contract. Cooper Kupp, very, very inexpensive for what he was able to do for them. Rashid Shaheed at the trade deadline, who I wanted for Buffalo so bad. Why we didn't go after him? We needed speed. He was kind of quiet in this game, but he was a difference maker in the playoffs, at the end of the season, on special teams. Dude, those little things. And again, every player after the game talked about the same thing. They loved the locker room, right? It wasn't just like, oh, shut. Like, they talked about how they just had great connections in that locker room. I think that the team's got to stick together. Like, you look at a team like the Eagles. I mean, it's really coming out now. Just animosity within between the coaching staff. AJ Brown screaming at Sirianni, and you got a lot of questions. Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown like each other. What's going on there? And then like teams like the Bucks who missed the playoffs because for the last 6 weeks, I heard there were fights in the locker room. I mean, these teams got a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't see. Seahawks stayed healthy even without Charbonnet. For the most part, they stayed healthy, and they were just able to like complete the task at hand, for lack of a better phrase. So, I think Drake May's going to have a great, great career in the NFL. But I'll say this. He got exposed for being what he is, a young quarterback who's going to be allowed to make mistakes. He'll probably get back there again. But I'm not ready to believe he's changing the face of the NFL and starting a new dynasty. I just don't believe it. I think you saw in the playoffs, you saw what happened when he saw good defenses, right? The numbers weren't there. He's great on it with his legs. Fantastic with his legs. But I just think that, like, when you see a good defense that can contain that, you saw what happened. So, I don't know. I mean, I always said I just want to get to the Super Bowl, win or lose. Tonight, thinking about it, I said that I was telling Paxton, I said, you know what? I almost don't want to get to the Super Bowl and lose just because, dude, I thought of the heartbreak I'd be feeling right now if we lost. And, like, it would suck. It would just suck. So, yes, I want to get to the Super Bowl. I wasn't old enough to experience the heartbreak of the 4 in a row losses. I don't know how any Bills fans from that generation can still be Bills fans. Remember, one-on-one guesses count for downtown guesses, too. If you get it right, it's $20 credit. 1, 2, 3 to the left, 4, 5, 6 to the right, and it's 10 boxes. So that's how we'll do it. 5 to the right, we're going to take the 10 boxes to the right. If we don't pull it downtown, again, no guarantees. No guarantees in this, but we've had success with the cases of megas. Let's keep it going. Good luck, everybody. Anybody win any money on the game? I hit one bet. I only put $30 in bets in, but I bet Seattle to score a defensive touchdown. Came through at the end of the game. I only won $65, but doubled my betting money. I was excited for that. All right. Seattle has $99 million in cap space. Woo! And they're selling the team, though. Do you think that'll cause any type of issues? Mark Brunell, green press proof. Even worry. There's a Tet McMillan. Puka Nakua throwback. I might do a lot of the sleeving at the end here. We'll see. $99 million is crazy talk, man. I thought New England had a lot with like 60. All right, we got the pinks in here. I haven't opened a lot of these. Jalen Milroe, Dylan Gabriel, green press proof. And how about a Tez Johnson pink? All right. They said it was the weakest schedule in 25 years tonight, they said on the broadcast. That was like Collinsworth and who's the other commentator? Yeah, like the Drake May's numbers in the playoff. And again, not hating on May. I think he's going to be an okay quarterback. But like all the New England fans that were screaming, "New Dynasty," it's like, I told my dad, we all got to take a breath on May. Jackson Hawes with the green press proof. Quinn Ewers and an Omarion Hampton pink. Good box so far. Seattle and under and heads on the coin toss. Oh, you didn't parlay all three? That's funny, Steve. I was telling my son because they were like watching the coin toss and I guess the kid that my son had sleepover tonight, he said his teacher let him bet. They get pulse points for good behaviors and they can spend the pulse points on things. And I know I used to teach with the teacher that he has now. He said, yeah, he let me bet 50 pulse points that the coin toss would be heads. I'm like, that's a cool dude. I said, did he let you parlay it? Because he goes, yeah, I also bet that Kenneth Walker would have like 50 something like yards or something. I said, did he let you parlay it? Omarion Hampton. He's like, what? I'm like, nothing. That's funny though. Garrison Hurst, white hot rookies, Jackson Dart, and Bashaw Tootin pink. I don't know if I'll do all the pinks, but we will do, unless they're like no-namers. You know, the game picked up at the end, but it was like over, but it got a little exciting there. I hate the fact that like a third party can just be like, all of a sudden just be like, oh, you have a concussion, you're out. He was, all right. What is this? Are they considered red Pandoras? Jalen Lane? These are what? One per box maybe, or even less? We'll figure it out. Jordan James Green and a Brandon Aubrey. We are on the first box. Who's Detroit? Corey, we are on the first box. Yeah, and good punts too. Well, they're not one per box because we just got our second one. Kyle McCord, a quarterback one for Philadelphia, going out to Floyd. 15 punts, but 5 made field goals too. Hurts. And we got an auto. There's a Kyle McCord base. Jatavion, I swear this is the dude we always pull. Instant best of the hurdle card for Barkley. That does well in Prism, but Jatavion Sanders, Carolina, going out to Rothdeaner. Horrible signature, the lazy signature. A lot of there's a Terrence Ferguson pink, good enough. Dude, his biceps, that punter's biceps are freaking huge. Was it the punter or the field goal kicker? He was all sorts of jack. Like muscle man, dude. Seattle, like, look, that game's, again, kind of like last year's game. It's going to look closer in stats and score. I mean, 13-29 isn't close, but it was not that close. Like, it was domination. And Seattle left a lot of points on the boards. It was like they were playing it safe. They just knew they couldn't make big pick six mistakes. Jalen Milroe, white hot rookies. Tet McMillan and an Ashton Genty rookie revolution. How about a Tet McMillan pink? That'll play. Carolina going out to Brandon. Oh, he's got the auto too. We'll put that up there with Carolina's auto. They can both hang out in the same clip. He won't be getting a chance anytime soon. Sam Darnold, any Seattle guys in here know, Sam Darnold, how many years did he sign a contract for? Keandre Lambert Smith, Drake May Elite Series. Shamar Stewart. Yesterday, I told you guys some stories, frustrating stories about the show. How about one more funny one? A guy came up at the end of the day. He's like, "You buying cards?" I was like, "I look at everything." He's like, "I got this." He pulls out a Drake May downtown. It was great. I was like, "What do you asking on this?" And he was like 1,000 above comps. He was like 6,000. I said, "I think it's a little under that." And he goes, "Well, it's going to be 8,000 tomorrow when he wins Super Bowl MVP." I said, "Dude, hold that and sell it for 8 tomorrow." He actually said tonight when he wins the Super Bowl. I said, "You know the score tonight? Ollie Gordon." I'm thinking he might have wished he would have sold that. Because, fans are going to overreact. They're going to get up, Drake May's value is going to drop. But the truth is, he's still a good buy. And it's just going to take him some extra time to be ready, He's way ahead of everyone in that class. I mean, Jaden Daniels didn't play much of this year. Now, Caleb Williams had a great year. Dude, did we just get a numbered card too? No, it's a red Pandora. Dude, these boxes are loaded. Lafemi Oladapo, linebacker. Riley Leonard. How about a Jaden Higgins swatch, rookie phenom for the Texans. And a Tyler Shuck, rookie pink. Nice. Going out to the Saints, it's going to be Chris Taylor, CT, baby. Three-year. All right. So he's not going anywhere. I mean, he just won. A lot of Seahawks. Listen, you heard at the beginning of the clip. Sam Darnold led the league in interceptions this year for starting quarterbacks. And he didn't have one in the playoffs. He took care of the ball when it mattered most. It's just crazy. He did enough to get it done. Jaden Blue, Keandre Lambert Smith Green, Trey Harris throwback. And that's a fair contract. $33 million a year. I'm sure there's other things attached with that and stuff. Jaden Blue Green. Nick Scorton, defensive end for Carolina. Two boxes in, 8 to go. Got some nice stuff already. Tet McMillan. Pink, Tyler Shuck pink, Jatavion Sanders signatures. So that, you know what though? Think about this. That might be enough to let a dude like Jalen Milroe learn behind him, right? And then maybe they, either they re-sign or they don't. But Jalen Milroe sits and learns, and which is what quarterbacks need to do. Maybe that's not who they go with. But these quarterbacks that aren't NFL ready, they sit behind a dude that's been through a couple teams, wins a Super Bowl, fought adversity. Red, gray, Zabel. Tyler Warren. Dylan Gabriel swatch going out to Cleveland. That is going to be Steve Hamner. Those quarterbacks that get to sit and learn are the ones that end up being solid. See. My son had a good time tonight. Will Howard Bomb Squad. Cam Ward pink. Killing it on the pinks. Oops. Now we can start to look towards the combine, the draft. Vortex rookie RJ Harvey. Luther Burden, White Hot Ashton Janty, and Tyleek Williams, defensive tackle for the Lions. That's a nice looking car, that Vortex. $4 million in playoff center. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. He was available too. It wasn't like someone couldn't have outbid for what Seattle went after him for. Quinshon Judkins green and Mason Graham pink. Garrett Wilson. Got a red, Josiah Stewart. Torrey Horton green, and Rocket Ishmael. My dad met him once. Green Keon Coleman, Maxwell Harrison. How about a Will Howard throwback too? Is he going to be the dude there? So, what do you think, Steve? I was talking to a Pittsburgh fan at the card show. I'm like, so is it Will Howard? What's going on? They're just like, I don't know. You know, you can hear the frustration. You can sense it. We got to hear from Aaron Rodgers, kind of thing. Joe Ferguson, Amarian Hampton, Will Howard, the rookies, and Quinshon Judkins pink. I'm just excited to see the new Bills Stadium. Although I keep hearing it's like further and further behind, you know. They get these huge snowstorms, and they're like, oh, now we're back further behind. It was already said it wasn't going to be 100% finished for the start of the season. Like, I guess they're going to do a couple events there before preseason starts to, like, kind of see any, like, hiccups and stuff before they have people in there for the football games. And the parts that aren't going to be finished aren't going to be affected by the game. Like, all card ship, yep. All card ship in this. Jalen Royals pink and a Trevor Etienne red. RJ Harvey swatch. You think they brought in McCarthy to convince Rodgers to stay? Do you think that's what it is? Like, let's win one more before you're gone. Rodgers just looked tattered, tired, beaten, and old. Like, it's not that he didn't even like look like he didn't want to play. He just looked exhausted. Like, they did like tush pushes with the fullback, and he was just like, nope. Dylan Gabriel. It's a sharp looking card. I love the Gridiron Kings. Jaden Daniels. What if McCarthy makes a move for Dak? I just don't like Dak's contract. Oh, you know, I talked to a couple Miami fans, and they were very adamant that Tua is going to be gone. And I said, well, what about his contract? They said the Miami will be interested in eating some of that money and just taking the hit if they give up like less picks to get rid of him. Because they're going to have to give up picks to get rid of him. Unless they take a lot of that contract. Another nice pink. Travis Hunter pink. There we go. McCarthy. Dak to the Steelers? Pittsburgh fans hate that. Or Dallas fans hate Dak. They just don't like him. A lot. I'm not saying all. But I know a lot of that. Like, I wish we would have re-signed Dak. Even when they just did it. They were like, before the season went, Pat Bryant red. What would that trade look like? A Tesla, a Loop Green, and a Tyler Warren rated rookies. Colts hitting some nice Warrens. Nate Zimmerman. Oops, I need sleeves and I need top loaders. Give me a second. I'll probably go through like 4 packs of these at Donruss. I'm a sucker for rated rookies and like the press proofs, so I go through a lot of supplies. You think that... I don't know. He seems like he's kind of a cheapskate penny pincher. Like when it comes to some of those... Like every time it's time to re-sign someone, you know, look what he did with Parsons. He argues over like the smallest amount of money, and they hold out. And he's like, I'm not going any. Like, I don't know. I feel like we would have been better off paying Parsons and Dak. Puka Nakua Elite Series and Matthew Golden Pink. He had some good playoff catches. Quiet most of the season now. Watt for Dak. They just re-signed Watt to a big contract too. It'd be interesting. Both players just move on from... Seems like what's become a bit of a headache maybe. Drew Bledsoe. White Hot Matthew Golden. Ty Felton Pink. And there they are, CD and Dak. Well, listen, it's not like Dak needs weapons. He had Pickens. He had CD. He has a great tight end. At what point is it maybe that Dak just isn't that good? I mean, I'm going to put a poll up. I have a question for you guys. And I'm not talking about records. I'm just talking about skill. So don't be like, well, Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl. He's better. That's not an argument. The Jalen Hurts had Saquon Barkley having a record season. He had a good defense. He had A.J. Brown. They had a center. The tush push was killing it. Let's not do that. I want to know, if you're starting a team, who would you rather have? Dak or Jalen Hurts? And I have no skin in the game. I don't like or dislike either one of them. They're just I wonder how their fans feel about them. JSN Press Proof Green, Travis Hunter, Omarion Hampton Elite Series, Khalil Mullings. Did we get a hit in that last box of the RJ Harvey? I guess. It was right out of the gate. If he doesn't like Dak, you remember that signing was crazy, right? It was on game day, week 1, 2 seasons ago, and Dak's waiting in the locker room. He's dressed. He's not out for warm-ups. He's just sitting in the locker room, waiting to see if he's going to get a contract extension. Not knowing if he's going to play that day. It was just so wild. Colston Loveland. Just such an odd, league that we're in. I'm going to sit in here, and if he pays me, I'll play. If he doesn't, I'm not playing. Mika Egbuka, Rookie Revolution. Zay Flowers, Green Press Proof. Woody Marks. Travis Hunter, White Hot Rookies. And TJ Tumaloa, Pink. McCarthy, do you like that hire? It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm not a McCarthy fan, though. I don't think he really was the reason, I don't know. I'm not a McCarthy fan, but again, I don't know a ton about him enough to say he's not a good coach. He's never struck me as a guy who commands the locker room. Colston Loveland, Torrey Horton, and a Graham Mertz. That's a quarterback red. You never know, especially with the way it's going there. A lot of questions about C.J. Stroud. I think he's going to be fine. We expect way too much of these quarterbacks. He was Rookie of the Year in 23. 24 wasn't a great season. 25, they make the playoffs. He doesn't play very well, though. Jackson Hawes, tight end red for the Bills. David Shelton. I like that card. I don't have that one. I got a bunch of his parallels. Trey Harris Green, D'Angelo Hall. You hate the hire, but he's a pick guy. So it might have been, I say this about the Bills hire too. It just might have been the hire that makes the most sense. Josh Simmons Pink. Sometimes it doesn't have to be the flashiest hire. Not even necessarily the best. Just has to be the one that makes the most sense. And Mike McCarthy may have just made the most sense. I think Bean did. A lot of people hating on the hire. I'm indifferent about it. I'll let you know when I see results. But I'll tell you this. If we do not make the playoffs this year, Brandon Beane, and he's kind of said the same thing in fewer words, he needs to see the door. Either resign or, because, dude, he won't be able to live in Buffalo. He's already hearing it. And then he kind of like saved face a little bit. But if we miss the playoffs, Beane's got to go. Galaxy of Stars. That's a case hit, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Where's the stapler?
Stapler, you scared the heck out of me. It's here. 1 second, guys. Let me see if that's it.
Or finish our second half.
It's maybe upstairs on Mom's desk. 1 second, guys. I have a little one. Let me see, is Galaxy of Stars a case hit? Yes, the Galaxy of Stars case hit, considered a SSP case hit. It is his second year, though. I'm curious to see how that does. I want to check it quick. I want to see what you guys are saying about that, Jamie. I looked these up because Jason and I talk a lot about, so they go for about $15. There's one listed for $2. Why are case hits going for so cheap? Does anybody want to tell me why we just only collect downtowns? Why do we not care more about these other SSPs? I mean, it's not a rookie, but even so, you can get a Terrell Owens downtown, and they're like, $200, please. There's a million of them out there. White Hot rookies, Jalen Milroe, and a Jack Beck. All right, let me see what you guys say, though. But he has hired more assistants than the Steelers ever had. If you look at all the QBs he's coached, he's the best years. And Mike McCarthy is more of that. Yeah, the Steelers do feel like it's a team that always. Cowher was more of a hard-nosed run game, good defense, right? Tomlin kind of inherited the team, and then they became like defensive-minded. They never really had a. It doesn't feel like they ever had a big offensive mindset. You're right. Xavier Watts, pink. Most coaches. That's something I guess I don't ever really think about. Do you know why they're hiring all those? He wants to make sure that they're fully covered. Easier way to pass the blame. Colston Loveland, pink. Nice card. Oh, there's one behind it. And a red Arian Smith, wide receiver for the Jets. Hey, how about a Shador Sanders, Cleveland Browns, Steve Hamner. There you go, Steve. Well, Jamie and Steve, I appreciate that you're in here chatting. Who were the killer bees? Like, what season was that? What era, decade? I don't really know. It's kind of like the Legion of Boom. Alec Amanor. Dylan Sampson. I want to talk to Sampson. This feels thick like there's another hit, but there's not. Tetro McMillan, green press proof. Andrew Van Ginkel. Will Johnson, red. We still have 4 boxes left here. I want to make sure I didn't pull one from the back. Oh, okay. Yeah, and then like one went to fight in MMA, one went off the deep end, and one retired. Rode off into the sunset. There's another Tet McMillan. All right. I really do wish I could figure out why a Galaxy of the Stars case hit goes for a couple bucks. Like, why do we decide that that's like not worth anything as a collecting community? It's just crazy. Like, if all of a sudden someone bought on them and decide, hey, I did a count on these. There's not that many. It's always going to baffle me. We talked about it earlier. Julian Love Press Proof, Tyler Luke, Bryce Young Elite Series, Luther Burden, Dark Luther, pink for the Bears, going out to Richard Myler. Yeah, the Killer Bees. Well, the nickname fit them, I guess. Road to the Super Bowl, 31-7 over the Broncos. That was game 1 of last year. James Cook. That's a cool card. Shador pink. There we go. And a Kyle Williams for the Patriots. Red behind it. Travion Henderson. Did not get in tonight. They were so good. Like, it's crazy how good Antonio Brown was. Like, insane how good that guy was. And then just 1 year, he wasn't. I mean, everyone obviously blames it on that hit from what's his name on the Browns. And, like, he was never the same after that. But I don't know, man. Maybe that's what it was. Tet McMillan, Rookie Revolution, Carolina. Brandon, you're getting some nice Tet stuff. Aaron Rodgers Green, Abdul Carter. Another Jalen Miller White Hot Rookies. And a Dylan Gabriel Pink for the Browns. Trying to grab that downtown. If we don't pull a downtown in this, and again, no guarantees, I will post the same price for the last 10. And we'll, cheap enough, low risk. Still get a ton of stuff out of this rookies color. We got a numbered card coming. RJ Harvey, green press proof. Tyler Shuck, throwback. What's this coming up? Terry McLaurin, press proof out of 50. Bottom left corner and bottom right's a little dinged. Michael Thompson, number 2, though. Out of 50. 12 out of 50. Nice numbered card. You don't see a lot of it in the Megas. Heck of a stack of sleeved and top-loaded cards. We still got 3 boxes to go and 2 packs in this one. Yeah, I mean, that's true. But sometimes it might have been a detriment to the locker room that he didn't get that resolved in a better way. It was a distraction. Jalen Lane. Often a distraction in the locker room for most of preseason when the whole Le'Veon Bell contract dispute was going on. I mean, Le'Veon Bell killed his own career. It's just wild. Suggs. How about a Tyler Warren red? Colts. Zimmerman. Nice card, dude. Very, very nice card. Kenneth Grant, rated rookie. All right, 3 boxes left. And again, at 24 a spot, there's a bunch of teams that are going to cover, like the Browns, with the pink Shador, the pink Gabriel, the Shador patch, a couple Judkins. Yeah, you're not going to, make $1 million, but you're going to cover your spot maybe a couple bucks. Same thing with, Tyler Warren, Travis Hunter, getting a bunch of that stuff, You hit a dart or 2 or a Scatabo rookie. $5 cards add up quick, but you still have the chance to hit that big hard. Speaking of which, Cam Ward, another Tet McMillan. So I think it's just such a low risk, fairly high reward with the downtowns. Bell screwed himself 100%. Got a lot of sorts. I got to do the optic sorts. I didn't get to those yet just because I was spending so much time getting ready for the card show. Tyler Shuck, green press proof. And Dyke. I did not sleep on Friday night, not a single second. The card show was long. Last night I crashed hard. Thanks again to Christopher and Wes for updating the Super Bowl break. It's like falling asleep standing up last night. Matthew Golden with the Vortex. They're fairly short inserts too. You don't see a lot of them. Joe Horn. Quinn Ewers. White Hot Abdul. Savion Williams. The only thing that bothered me about Tomlin is his one Super Bowl seemed to be coming off the heels of... I'm not saying he didn't win it. You still have to coach. But, like, the roster was constructed by Cower, right? The team dynamic was still there. Yeah, he could have came in and lost and not made it. So he's made the playoffs. But after that, you know, he goes to the playoffs 9 years in a row, Steve? And doesn't win a single playoff game. Not one. I mean, that might... But it's like, oh, but he made the... It's like, well, nobody says the Bills made the Super Bowl 4 times. They say the Bills lost 4 Super Bowls. Everyone's like, well, they make the playoffs every year. It's not like they lost 9 years in the first round. That's not something that we started talking about until recently, you know? I feel like it's just not something that's put on the radar enough. He was nuts. He came down and gave me a hug. Dude, I got a cool picture here. I got to show you quick. This is like when after I won that bet and I was going nuts and we're like, Seahawks. Oh, congratulations to Matt Menser. Holy cow. That guy cashed tonight. He won 2 rounds of squares. I don't know who won the third and the fourth. He may have won those 2. He won our big Seattle Seahawks as the owner of the Seahawks. That's some big money. Whatever. I think it's like $100, $50 the second place, something like that. I'll have to look up. But this is him, Jamie. He has his chain on, his hat, his shirt, his Darnold jersey shirt. He was all sorts of pumped. Okay, so they did go back but lost. Jaden Blue, and who's our red? Chamari Dyke, red. And it's going to be another quarterback patch. Tyler Shuck. I didn't hate the Super Bowl. Like it was so weird. I told my wife at some point, I was like, how do I miss football this much? Like it was always like, I feel like it's been forever. Mike Green, red. I said, I feel like it's been forever since I got to watch a football game, and it's been 2 weeks. There's a Jalen Milroe rookie, rated rookie retro. Caleb Johnson, green. Jamie, what was our bet on him this year? I forget. You don't have to pay up if we made a wager of any type. But what was our bet? I lost a expensive sweatshirt to my brother. Winner our bet had to buy a sweatshirt. But I was dumb. I bet on the fact that I thought Jonathan Taylor wouldn't even make it through the season. And I bet Tyler Warren would outscore Jonathan Taylor in fantasy points this year. Obviously, it looks stupid now. It looks stupid the whole time. But I was like, there's no way he's going to even play half the season. He did fall off near the end. I mean, Jonathan Taylor was a heavy favorite to win MVP going halfway through the season, right? Tyler Warren, another one. Green and a white hot rookies behind it. Will Johnson, pink. Man, cashing in on the Warrens. Colts, Nate Zimmerman. What was the... No, you don't have to pay me $20. Don't worry about it. I don't care. If it were push-ups or something, I'd make you do it. I don't like money bets. Like, not against people. I don't mind betting clothes, sweatshirts, all that stuff, but not just cash. Arian Smith, wide receiver for the Jets. Dylan Gabriel. Joe Mixon on a Pro Bowl swatch. I've never seen one of these. It's interesting. Scatabo. Yeah, I killed you on that. Oh, dude, come on. Don't do that. I don't want that. I couldn't remember who it was. Because, like, I know I was betting a lot of people Tyler Warning and stuff, but I thought it was running back for running back. Yeah, Scatabo came through. I was right on that. Another Arian Smith. This one a pink one. All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. It gets me back for your 101 guest the other day. Will Johnson red. We need some big names. We were pulling so many big names there for a while. I like the red and the pink in this. Come on downtown. Blake Corum. Trey Harris, rated rookie retro. Josiah Stewart. Just this box feels like a little bit of a duddy box. And didn't play again. Josh Calkins in the house. He's got to be loving it. Got to go to a Super Bowl to watch his team. There's a Jackson Dart throwback. We haven't seen much of him. Got to go to a Super Bowl and watch his team win. Hang out with celebrities. I saw last night he was with, what's the commentator that always reminds me of Joe Rogan? He's on, hang it, what's his name? Maybe you guys saw the pictures. Kyle McCord, Maxwell Harrison Green, Gray Zabel, pink. Dude, I got 2-1 there. Look just like Jamie does like to push around fans at games. That brings back Pittsburgh memories, Jamie, when he says that. Last box mojo. Come on now. Downtown. Let's do it. If not, we'll post tomorrow. It's too late to do another one tonight. Can't get this one open. Maybe it's because it's the good one. I will do a full recap at the end. Josh seems like he's not too drunk. He's chatting and typing things correctly. Check. So there's a nice Cam Ward. Back to back. Throwback retro Cam Ward for the Titans. Ben Reno heating up a little bit on the Titans. The Cam Ward throwback. Nah, your mouth just wouldn't stop running. Are you going to sell it on eBay? All the confetti? People do that, don't they? You just spoke you spoke your truth to a 12. That was a fun trip. Derwin James. Elijah Arroyo. Seattle Seahawks. Brad Holste. Brad, I think, is a Vikings fan. I don't think he's a Hawks fan. Oh, I think we have another Hawks Milrow. Travion Henderson, Luther Bird and Green Press Proof, Abdul Carter, little nice stretch here, and a Milrow Pink. Got a ton of top-loaded cards to go through here. Went through 3. We're going to end up going through 3 full packs of top loaders. And 2, almost pack and a half of sleeves. Maybe 2 full packs of sleeves, honestly. Kyle Williams, Patriots getting a hit. Kyle Williams, pink, and Gray Zabel, red. How about them Seahawks? Yeah, it's crazy. You want to bring something home for people that didn't get to see it, but like you can't buy anything cheap. Well, you got to have a lot of money to go to the Super Bowl. So if you have that kind of money, like, hey, let's charge everybody a lot of money for everything. It's a catch-22. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Graham Gano. Tez Johnson Green. Matthew Golden White Hot Rookie. And a Tyler Warren pink. I swear that Tyler Warren's hit the freaking cycle here on these cards. Last chance at a downtown. Come on, baby. Now, again, no guarantees, but there is one in this case. It's in the second, too. Dude, the coach was like just speaking of soaking it in. Josiah Stewart. I don't see one here. The coach was just soaking in the moment. It was awesome. No downtown. Be ready for tomorrow. I'll post it. Let me do a recap for you guys. Didn't pay for anything except his drinks and souvenirs, and you spent $2K. That is wild. Guys, there's so many sleeve cards to go through. I mean, we have more over here. These are all sleeved up cards. I'm not going to go through them all. But a lot of pinks and reds that were just like not as big names. All cards do ship in this, by the way. Well, I will quickly go through. Let me just do a real quick. Let me do a real quick sort here. It'll be easy to go through everything that way. Just take a second. I don't have those assistants that everyone has on the shows, but if I take a minute and do this, it'll be a lot more enjoyable to see the recap. I'm almost done here. All right, here we go with our rated rookies that I felt deserved to be top-loaded. Milroe, Leonard, Hunter, Ward, Ewers, Howard, Gabriel. Our green press proofs were Gabriel, Judkins, McMillan, Harvey, Shuck, and Warren. Our inserts were Ewers, Jackson Dart, White Hot, Jalen Milroe, White Hot, Vortex, Harvey, Will Howard, the rookies, Tyler Warren, the rookies, Dylan Gabriel, Tyler Warren, rated rookies retro, McMillan, Shuck, Hunter, and Milroe, White Hot, McMillan, Gridiron Kings, Vortex Golden, Milroe, rated rookies, Tyler Warren, White Hot, Cam Ward, throwback, Jackson Dart, throwback, another Cam Ward, different version of a throwback. Our pinks that it felt like were worth showing were Tez Johnson, O'Hampton, Tootin, Judkins, Terrence Ferguson, Matthew Golden, Colston Loveland, Luther Bird, and Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders, Chamari Dyke, Arroyo, and Milroe. The Reds were McCord, Lane, Gordon, Zabel, Etienne, Bryant, Jackson Hawes, Graham Mertz, Kyle Williams, Dyke, and Zabel. We also had some pinks up here. Travis Hunter and Tet McMillan. Cam Ward and Tyler Shuck. We had a Tyler Warren pink and Tyler Warren red. Look at these Tyler Warrens. It was a good break. You know, you got a ton of base rated rookies and stuff too, but some really nice. That to me is a lot that will sell for a decent amount. You put that up for a Colts fan. That's a great PC lot there. We also had the McLaurin out of 50. Our patches were Kyle Williams, Joe Mixon Pro Bowl games, Tyler Shuck, Travion Henderson, Shador Sanders, Colston Loveland, RJ Harvey, Dylan Gabriel, and Jaden Higgins. We had the Jatavian Sanders autograph and a card that sells for not near enough money. One of the case SSPs, Malik Neighbors, Galaxy of Stars. Pax is super happy, dude. Super, super happy. He came down, gave me a hug at the end when I was checking payments. Even I was up there for the whole game, but just fired up. All right, guys, listen, that's all I'm going to do tonight, but I will do the other half tomorrow. The downtown is still live. Josh, I'm so glad you got to have that experience. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing a lot of those moments with us. That was really neat. The phone call was cool. Yeah. You guys have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Go Bills. Let's get on to the next season. All right, Corey Downey's interested. Hit him up, Nate. Peace.